Rad7, great question. We might as well talk about it. We have a great interview with this person, actually, Rad7. I'm not sure if you know, but the gentleman you're referring to, he says, Alonzo, who was that Israeli security guard that Ruthless had hired to keep eyes on Suge? We have an interview with this gentleman. Go ahead and explain who he was, Lonzo, his name and all that good stuff. And I'm going to put the link to that really good interview, exclusive interview. I don't think I've seen another interview with this person other than on this channel right here. But Mr. Mike Klein, tell us about Mike Klein, the Israeli security guard, Lonzo. And more than a security guard. We don't want to regulate him to being a security guard.
No. Mike Klein was brought in to Ruthless to put Suge in check. And if I ain't mistaken, I talked to Mike. He said it wasn't a whole bunch of threats. It was like, this is going to stop. And it's going to stop today. You want this problem? No, sir. Okay, simple as that. But it was a cost. It was a cost. And, you know, it's certain things, man. You know, when you are a schoolyard bully and then you graduate to high school, say high school, to try to do the same thing as you did in junior high school and elementary school, and you realize there's some real bullies out here that don't play, it's changed your whole perspective. It's like playing Pop Warner football and going to jump your ass up in the college league. I was bad, and I was bad boy in Pop Warner. Now I'm playing college. This shit hurt, and that's what it was. You went from bullying folks based on your size to realize somebody can make you to dealing with somebody that could probably make you just disappear.
We have a great interview. I'm literally posting it as we speak, so you can check it out, everyone. But tell us about Mike Klein, Lonzo, and just his reputation and his background. Just a little bit of what we touched on in the 1 hour interview with him.
You know, he's not a big dude, like maybe 6'3", 6'4". Kind of tall, but he's not a big dude. But it ain't about how his size. It's about what he knows. You know, he's a weapons expert, hand-to-hand combat expert, and a high-ranking officer in the Israeli Israeli army. In fact, that's where he's been for the past 2 years. He ain't to be messed with. Simple as that. He's not to be messed with. You know, he and I have always had a mutual respect for each other. You know, because I understand him, he understood me. We never had a problem. And you know, some people you just know, if you ain't prepared to go all the way, don't even go there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. Great interview. I posted the link. Everybody check it out after the show. Save it to your favorites. I highly encourage you to watch it and listen to it, because a lot of rumors were, what's the word I'm looking for? Unalive. You know, a lot of rumors were deaded. It was just a great interview.
Yeah, they were trying to say that Mike had some unreleased Ruthless tapes. And some kid had them in it. Mike didn't have them. All that shit.
We're still trying to get that kid on our show, too. He's from Canada.
Yeah. He ain't dropped nothing yet.
Yeah, he put a voicemail, and he ended up
doing the voicemail too.
Doing the voicemail thing, and that's why he thought everyone said Mike Klein had this connection to Canada, when all in all it was this little 16-year-old hacker dude that just had the world fooled for years until the internet came out and the truth pretty much came out.
Exactly. So that's that. The internet changed everything. The internet changed everything. A lot of cats got called to the carpet that couldn't get called before. If the internet was more popular during the early days of gangster rap, a lot of folks wouldn't have made it. You know, back then you read about dudes. You read about them in Source magazine, read about them in Vibe, and that's all you had. You never had any other evidence that they were not who they said they were. They said they were in the magazine. The writers wrote it. He's a bad motherfucker. Okay, yeah. You kick ass on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. And nobody really would challenge that. You know, your record saying all this right here, your write-up saying all this right here, you must be all this right here. And that wasn't always the case.
You know, hypothetical world, Lonzo, and I think I know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask it anyway. But would N.W.A have made it if the internet existed back then?
It'd have been tough. It'd have been tough because it was too easy to find out who did what. You know, it would have been a lot more difficult to find out who. It would be a lot easier to find out who did what. You know, like I said, you can pose, you can buy all the radio gear you want, you can do all kinds of stuff back then because nobody was really checking, and especially if you had somebody out front who was legit, you know, that gives residual legitimacy to everybody else. That's like somebody, if you in Beverly Hills and somebody see with a Gucci bag, they're gonna assume it's real. Somebody in the hood with a Gucci bag, same Gucci bag, they're gonna assume it's fake because it don't fit. Same scenario. Oh, you rolling with homeboy? You must be legit. That's why I don't give credibility to everybody I come in contact with. People want you to co-sign. No, we're not co-signing shit. They want to benefit from your authenticity. And you know, if Lonzo said, "No, Lonzo, no, I'm gonna put my stamp of approval on nothing. It ain't real."
All right, let's get into a few questions. Lonzo, Sarah Catherine has a nice little simple question. Alonzo, I was wondering what your favorite song is. And I want to break that down a little bit, Lonzo. I don't want you to just answer it like that. I want to break it down genre by genre. And maybe we could start with funk, R&B, and then go to rap. But if you had to pick, could you pick one song? That's hard for me to pick one song. But if you had to pick one ultimate song, do you have a favorite song?
I've always loved Knee Deep. Come to Funk, one of my favorite funk songs. It's Knee Deep and then probably Flashlight. If I hear it, no matter what I'm doing, if I hear them, I finna start bobbing. Okay? That's what I was saying earlier. Just certain things, certain songs, just bring you back to an era, man, that you can't help but go back there for a few minutes. The length of this song, I'm going back to 1979, I'm going back to 1976, whatever the case may be, and enjoying this mental journey for a hot minute, man.
R&B. What about R&B, Lonzo?
R&B. Luther Vandross, Bad Boy. Having a party. Man, that's because again, I'm a DJ, man. I'm a DJ at heart no matter what. And there's certain songs that just make people just get up and make them feel good and just make them just jump up on the dance floor. That's one of them.
What's your favorite hip hop song of all time?
Favorite hip hop song of all time. On my right now, my ringtone is "All Around the World" by